What's up, guys? I'm at SEMA, and if you're into overlanding, you probably heard of Patriot Campers. But I have Justin here. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world and then tell us what you got here.
How you going, guys? My name's Justin. I'm from Patriot Campers. I'm the owner, the founder of Patriot Campers from Australia. I'm going to take you through the Patriot Campers X1 GT. Now, this is our flagship model. This is actually the trailer that's won Australian Camper Trailer of the Year 4 years in a row. As soon as we land back at home next week, we're going back to the competition. We might be able to do it for a 5th year, we'll see. But I'll give you a look around about what the whole Patriot Campers X1 is all about. Okay, so starting, the X1 was designed as a camper trailer with super lightweight in mind and a very compact size. So what we wanted to do was create a camper trailer that was not going to hinder the performance of your vehicle. Anywhere you wanted to take your vehicle, the camper trailer could go with you. And we've definitely achieved that. Well, I have a sheet metal shop back in Australia. I designed this camper trailer for me, my family, my wife, and my 3 kids. My wife had very huge input into the design of this trailer, and that's why it works so well in the family environment, but still keeping that compact size. So you can see we've got a really comprehensive kitchen, L-shaped kitchen. We can fit up to a 60-litre cooler up in here. You can put in any brand you like. All of the kitchen is stainless steel. You've got spots for everything. You've got a wet storage at the back. You've got a spot in here for plates or whatever you like. You've got a cutlery drawer underneath. All of this stainless steel is Rimex. It's a food grade, scratch resistant. You can prepare food straight on top. Some of the trailers you see will have, you know, a painted or powder coated zinc surface, which in my opinion is not very good. We got a large sink, but for 2018 we got a much bigger sink coming. This is still a 2017 model. There's a couple of differences which I'll run you through. Massive big bench top at the top here. You've got a twin burner cooker with a windbreak that slides out. You've also got a grill underneath. Underneath here, you know, you can do toasted sandwiches or whatever you like. You can heat that sort of stuff up. You've got a stereo in behind the back. So there's a Fusion stereo in here, Bluetooth stereo. You can control that obviously from inside your tent at night. You got some pantry storage through here. And then our control system. Now our control system in our camper trailer is the best of the best. It's all run through a Red Arc battery management system, a BMS. Very simple to use. You can see we got 99% power here. If I can see I've got 17 hours until flat because the cooler's just kicked in. But say for example, if I start flicking lights off, it starts counting down and saying, well, now with the power usage that you've got 1 day until flat.
Oh, nice.
So for people who aren't electronically inclined, it makes it really easy for them just to know how much battery you've got left. Yeah. You've got LED lights right throughout with all the switches, USB chargers, cigarette. You've got a water level indicator. You can see this one's empty. And one of the coolest things about the X1 is it's got a air ride system in it. So you can see here, if I turn the air compressor on, I can level the trailer from these switches. I can let a side down or level a side up. So if I park on uneven ground, I can level the trailer either way.
That is nice.
Yeah,
no more cranking.
No cranking anything, and that's a standard feature. There's a level at the front of the trailer which shows you where the trailer is. So when you pull up to camp, bang, hit the switches, level it up, and you're good. The other advantage is, depending on how you load the trailer, whether you put more weight or less weight, you can obviously change the ride height. If you're on the highway and you want to get that good mileage, you lower the trailer all the way down, creates less drag, and you're going to have better fuel consumption. That's a bit of a walk around the kitchen. We've got a pop-up awning with a patented scissor mechanism. This just pops up with one hand, and the awning folds out right around the top. 270 degrees, goes right around the back of the trailer. Unfortunately at SEMA this year we could only get a small booth. We couldn't, our first time here, they couldn't give us a bigger booth, so we can't open the awning here. But if you jump on any of our other YouTube videos, you can see through that.
Just watch the Overland Expo videos and you'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So if you watch any of the last video on the mixflip channel, it gave a really good insight as to how all the canvas sets up.
Nice. Is this as high as it goes, by the way? Is that?
Yeah, that's as high as it goes. But you've got adjustable poles when it comes out. So for the guys that are really tall, I'm a little bit short.
How tall are you?
I think I'm 5'10". I'm 181 centimeters.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but even for the bigger guys, you can angle the awning up.
Yeah.
You know, and all the water will come in and run through the back.
Yeah, that's a lot of room though. That's a lot of room.
It's tons of room. Now, it's all the little details in the Patriot Campers gear. We actually use these things. Patriot Campers wasn't set up as a commercial business. It was set up for us to produce the products that we wanted. So it's all the little details that make all of the difference. We've got, for example, a little bar top up here with this foam padding.
Oh, yeah.
So we make use of every bit of storage. Now, obviously when you're out and about camping, have a few drinks, bottles of wine, all those sorts of things, that acts as really good servery and keeps it away from the kids, on the ground level. So it's all of those little details.
I like that.
We've got, at the back, we've got our wet storage boxes. Now these are really handy things. These are for all the gear that you don't want to put back into your trailer, say fishing bait or recovery gear, muddy boots, all of those sorts of things.
Something that needs to air out, right?
And how this came about, when we built the first X1, we were packing up in the rain, the kids were soaking wet. Sarah was on the back of our ute, she was stripping all the kids' clothes off, and she was like, where do I put all this stuff? I don't want to put it back in the clean trailer. And one of my buddies who was with us at the time said, well, why don't you use this area, make a little door, and that's how it all came about. So, like I said,
that's very smart.
It all comes from use.
Yeah.
Now the rear table is a dinette table. You can pull up a couple of chairs for quick meals. You can fold this down, sit down here, or put the kids at the back, have a couple of meals down here. If I fold that up, you see at the back we've got a hitch receiver on every X1. Now this is for a push bike rack, so you can put in, say for example, a Rhino rack's push bike rack and carry a couple of bikes at the back. You've got big rated recovery points here, so if you need to recover the vehicle, you can recover from the back.
Nice.
So that's a pretty good feature. While we're down here, man, if you get underneath the trailer, this is the best part. So fully independent dual shock suspension. You can see that the airbags that are underneath there, they're a 4-ton Firestone bag. We have never in 4 years ever replaced an airbag. We've never sold one as a spare part. That's how tough they are.
Nice.
Got 10-inch electric brakes underneath as standard, and you can see the independent suspension. We've got dual tanks underneath here, so you've got a total of 40 gallons. We've increased that for 2018, so it's 155 litres now. It was 140 litres.
How much travel do you get out of this system here?
The travel, you get about 90 millimetres, so 4 inches.
Okay.
But you've got big urethane bump stops, as you can see there too.
Yeah.
Say for example, worst case, if you were to blow an airbag, you're not dead in the water. You can continue travelling on the bump stops.
Oh, nice.
So it's we've never had a structural failure on a Patriot camper. In 4 years, we have never ever had one warranty claim on a structural component on a Patriot. They are completely over-engineered. Everything underneath the body is hot dip galvanised steel. For 2018, we're releasing a brand new chassis. So we've got actually I'll keep that quiet for the minute. But we're releasing a brand new chassis which is taking our engineering to the next level. Now we've also got everything above the chassis is aluminum, so there's nothing on this trailer that can corrode. This trailer will outlast any of us. You
can hand this down to your sons and your grandsons.
You can hand it down to your kids. There's no componentry on here that's going to be susceptible to damage from, say, salt or harsh conditions. Powder coat is the hardest substrate that you can put on top of aluminium. It actually bonds into the material. So everything about a Patriot is quality. And I think in the United States, in Australia, we're used to that sort of level of quality, and with that quality comes a price point. But in the United States, it's going to take a while for us to get to re-educate the market into the quality products. But we'll keep moving around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I know there's guys that always bring up the price, but you get what you pay for.
When we first launched in Australia, it was exactly the same thing. People couldn't really understand the concept of our price point for such a small unit. They look at the size of it. Over here in the United States, you can buy a 40-foot gooseneck for $40,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you compare the two things, but there's two, I suppose, sides to that. Number one is the quality, number two is volume. We are a boutique manufacturer. We are a niche manufacturer. We don't pump out thousands of trailers. They are completely hand built. We have very low levels of automation. We're improving those processes as we go to try and reduce the price. But as we make changes, there is no compromise with Patriot Campers, and there never has been a compromise. If it's something that I wouldn't personally use, I don't put it in my trailers. I don't put it in my gear. You know, we have a TV show back in Australia. Now it's available for online subscription, patriotgames.tv. If you want to know what these trailers can go through, jump onto patriotgames.tv, subscribe to the show. There's 12 hours there of these trailers getting beaten up in the harshest conditions in the world.
Nice.
Top of Cape York, Moab in Utah. We go out to the Fink Desert Race with one of the big toy haulers. We tow 1,000 kilometres across the Plenty Highway, which runs straight through the centre of Australia to Alice Springs, and that's where you can really see what Patriot Campers is all about. Look, we have small problems. We have a warranty department. As long as Toyota and Ford have a warranty department, so will we. But like I said, we've never, ever, ever had a Patriot camper not make it home. I personally rolled one up at the top of Cape York 7 times. I spun it on the back of the hitch 7 times. We pushed it back onto its wheels, the tent fell off, and I dragged it another 3,000 kilometres all the way back to the Gold Coast.
That's awesome.
So that's
tough.
That's tough, you know?
I can tell you, my family, we bought an RV years ago in the 70s, and it was in the 70s when they bought it. Yeah. That thing is a pile of junk now. It didn't last. Yeah. I'm not gonna say the brand, but I can appreciate something that can handle 7 times being rolled. 7 times. I actually might release that footage one day. I've got the footage. At the time I thought I better not. It makes me look like a bit of a cowboy, but it's actually pretty cool to see. Yeah. And I still have the trailer. The trailer is at Patriot HQ. It's it's wrecked. You know, it'll never go back on the road again. But the fact of the matter is, it made it back home. The process that we use, it's still a ladder style chassis, but it's a monocoque construction. Without the body, the chassis doesn't have the strength, and same vice versa. We use structural rivets that were developed for Mack trucks. Each one of our rivets in a Patriot camper, say this rivet here, for example, has a 7-ton shear force. Oh, wow. 7 tons it'll take to pull that rivet. So we use a mixture of obviously fabricated components, structural rivets, and chemical adhesives to bond the whole trailer together, and that's where we get the strength from. I've seen videos and pictures of trailers that are rolled over, and it looks like a plane wreck. There's parts scattered everywhere. Not with the Patriot. Nice.
So moving around, we've got spare tyre swing away, which is very easily operated. So that's it for the spare tyres. GT comes with alloy wheels, ROH alloy wheels. This one's got the option of Mickey Thompson MTZs, which is a fairly cheap option. They come standard with a generic brand of tyre. But you can get the Mickey Thompsons, which I run on all of my gear.
I notice there's a dampener.
Yeah, so there's gas struts on anything that opens and closes in the Patriot. Got to keep everything nice and light. My wife, everybody knows Sarah. Sarah's not the biggest girl. She's a very small girl. Everything's got to be easy for her. She can operate the entire trailer on her own, open and close the tent. So we try and make ease of use at the forefront. Ease of use and speed. Speed to me is everything. When I travel, I never stay in the one place more than one night. That's how I roll. I do big distances, and it's quick setups overnight. Flop the tent out, jump into bed, have a sleep, close it back up, off in the morning. Within a matter of minutes.
I like that.
But if you want the long stay, if you're the type of person that does like 5 days or 7 days or 2 weeks in one spot, you can spend the time. You spend the 15-20 minutes and set the whole package up. You get a massive wraparound awning, canvas that goes around, put the kids' room on, and it's comfortable for as long as you like. So the modular design behind the X1, that's the key to it. That's the whole key to the X1. You don't have to set up the tent to set up the awning, and same vice versa. If you want to access the kitchen, you're touring, I want a cup of coffee. You pull over, 2 latches, you drop 1 door, make a cup of coffee.
I never thought about that. You can still use this and live out of it without putting up the tent.
That's right. It's completely modular, and the way I see it, there's three main components to the X1. There's the kitchen, there's the tent, and there's the awning, and they all operate independently of each other. Put some thought into it when you're looking at a camper trailer. For example, there are a lot of models around that you have to set up the whole thing to get a beer out the fridge. To me, that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's not what my style of touring is all about. My style of touring is quick, easy, keep moving, get out there and see the country. See the location wherever you're at. You don't need to hitch the trailer. You can pack everything up quickly and take it with you. If you find a nicer spot, you set up there.
I've had that happen many times.
And it happens a lot, and that was part of the concept of Patriot Campers. It had to be lightweight. And like I said, if you watch Patriot Games, you will see us, my family, that's what we do. We're in a convoy with 3 of my brothers, my kids, my father. We're all towing different Patriot models, and we move every day, every single day. So you see us every day, pack up, set up, and that's just how we roll, you know?
Nice.
I'll keep moving around, man. I don't want to bore everyone.
Oh no, this is awesome, man.
So the tent. So new for 2018, we have had, typically in the past, Patriot Campers have been using generic tents that have coming from outside of Australia, which has been the only product in the camper trailer that we had no control of because they were imported. Now for 2018, we've teamed up with a company in Australia that does all of the Australian military canvas. They're the best of the best. The quality is unbelievable. Dynaproof canvas. The mesh actually comes from, in the windows, the mesh comes from Japan, and it's a brand called Heroku. Now, the reason we went with this, they sent us over a video of 2 Toyota Land Cruisers with this mesh, tied to both tow balls, and they were having a tug of war and they couldn't break the mesh out. Nice. We had a lot of warranty issues with the imported products, which was our Achilles heel. For 2018 we have had a price increase. This is the reason for it. Nice. This is 3 times the cost to produce, to manufacture, but like I said before, there's no compromise on quality with Patriot Campers. It's just not what we're about. We'll sacrifice volume over price for quality. Like I said, if it's something that I wouldn't personally use, I won't fit it. So we finally got the X1 to exactly where it needs to be as far as quality goes, and I'm super excited about this tent. Nice. The other advantage of this is it's a much quicker setup. You can set it up literally with one hand. You can pull it over. The kids' room that goes out the back, which we don't have on display here, has one single pole. So it's one pole at the end. It's a teepee style. You don't have to spend the time pulling ropes and getting everything taut because it has a square roof. It actually, like I said, if it's a quick setup, one peg in the ground, pull the rope. If it's not taut, doesn't matter. If it rains during the night, everything's just going to flow out. Has higher headroom through the centre, a little bit lower headroom on the sides, but that's the compromise.
It's just enough to get the job done.
It's just got to get the job done. Yeah. If you're the type of person that wants to spend the time indoors, this is not the trailer for you. Right. And we make a very good point back in Australia with our sales team. Our sales team are very educated. Tommy, my sales manager, is one of my best mates. Michael, who works back there. Their first job, first and foremost, is to ensure the customer's buying the right product. We have had in the past people who like the idea of going camping but aren't really campers. They're more suited to a caravan. Yeah. So if you're that type of person, you want to cook inside, you want to spend a lot of time inside, this isn't the trailer for you. If you want to be outdoors and you want to actually go camping, and you've got to remember what camping's all about. It's about being outside. Yeah. You know, if you get wet, if you get dirty, that's all part of the fun.
That is an excellent point, because I can't tell you how many times in the comments I had to explain, you have to pick the right RV or camper for you. Yeah.
That's it. That is the key to it. You really got to concentrate on what style of exploring or outdoors that you need. Yeah. This trailer is not going to suit everybody, and anybody who claims that they have a camper trailer that suits the entire market, they're lying to you. It's really just that simple. So it's really a matter of getting in, go and see a Patriot before you buy one. We are refusing now in the United States to ship trailers. If you want to buy an X1, you have to go to Oklahoma and pick it up. And the reason for that is you need to spend time with the dealer. You need that 3 or 4 hours to open and close it, touch it, feel it, get to know it. Make a trip on the way home. Have a little adventure on the way home. You know, do all the easy stuff until you get to know the trailer. And once you get to know it and understand it, it becomes part of the family. Yeah. You know, and that's the whole Patriot Campers experience. That's what we've done in Australia, and that's really what we want to recreate over here. Okay, so coming inside, we've got this was a new release for last year, and sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. 4 days at SEMA will do that to you.
By the way, guys, this place is huge in here.
Huge.
It may not show up on camera, but huge. You got a lot of headroom.
This is actually bigger than a king-size bed.
Oh wow.
This is a bigger mattress than a king-size bed. It's wider than a king-size bed and the same length. How we normally roll on the quick overnighters, as I said, we have 3 children. Normally, Sarah and I and our 10-year-old daughter on the quick stops will sleep up here, and my boys will be in the swag. They're 13 now. We don't even use the multi-room anymore. We used to when they were younger, but now we don't even take it with us because the boys like kind of doing their own thing. Yeah. We have a couple of swags in the back of the truck. We've got LED lighting throughout. We've got USB charging points up at the back. You can see those pockets hanging out there for iPads, iPhones. Oh, yeah. You want to charge all that sort of gear. We've got boot storage underneath. So if you come down here, There's boot storage pockets. There's access in here to all of the storage areas. Another big storage area in the back. And this is well, this is my pride and joy.
I was going to ask you about this. Why did you come up with this?
Mate, this here is like everything Patriot. We come up with concepts that people haven't before. We're getting a little bit smarter now. We are spending the money and spending the time on patenting these ideas. I won't go into that, but...
I'm guessing somebody fell out of the bed early on.
No,
right?
well, the biggest comment we used to get was typically on any type of rooftop tent, you've got a ladder, you know?
Yeah.
And a ladder can be quite dangerous with young kids, elderly people getting up in the middle of the night. You can fumble and fall out of bed, and that can really destroy a trip. So what we've got here is a really good access ladder. So you can see, you know, I'm 100 kilos, and up here it's really sturdy. I'm shaking the whole trailer. The tent is really the staircase. Sorry, is really a safety feature. Makes it really quite easy for kids. Like I said, elderly people to get up and down. If you had a few too many of them and you need to get up in the middle of the night, you know, which that's what happens when you go camping. Like, let's all be honest. You know, you can get up and down the stairs quite easily. Super lightweight. Everything just folds over. We're going to be concentrating on a setup video over the next few weeks when we release the 2018 model, so keep an eye out for that.
You know what I like about it too is it's not flimsy. I've seen ladders that maybe will last a couple of years and then they bend or break.
And this is all aluminum, and I can't take full credit for this. This ladder here was, you know, me and all the boys, all of my engineering team, we were out in the factory. We were actually out in the driveway, and the conversation just started. You know, we got to get rid of the ladder, and all the boys were all standing around. There were 4 of us, you know, the 3 engineering guys and me, and we still don't know who came up with the idea. You know, all of us boys were, why don't we do this and then that and then change this, and the whole team got excited. By the end of the day, we had a concept. We went through it, and my boys just nailed it. And that's, you know, that's a big part of what this is all about. My team at Patriot Campers, Matt, my dealer from Oklahoma, he nailed it when he said everybody at Patriot Campers is ride or die. My team do this for a living. If you come to Patriot Campers, if you ever get the opportunity, look in my car park. It's all trucks, all overlanding vehicles, jacked up patrols, Land Cruisers. Nice. My crew do this, you know. But a few of the boys, the engineers, own these trailers. You know, they've bought them themselves, and that speaks a lot in the designs. But this is pure passion for us, and this is why Patriot Campers is what it is and what it's become. So that's going through. We've got a big vinyl floor. This vinyl floor is zip out, so if you do get into the situation where it's really muddy, you can zip it out from the bottom of the tent, hose it out. Say, for example, that you do damage it, that you can replace it as well. Now, obviously, we're on carpet at SEMA, so it doesn't look the best, but when you peg this out, it's nice and taut. You've got a massive bucket in here, a 4-inch bucket. So if you get a downpour of rain, you're not going to get any water inside the tent.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So, and also too, the creepy crawlies can't get in here.
No, nothing can get in. It's fully sealed. Nice. The whole tent is sealed. So that's basically about the tent. Keep moving around out the front. So if we talk about hot water service. Now, the Patriot X1 comes with a propane hot water service as standard. We do have I'll run you through this real quick.
Sure.
Propane tanks in here. We've got a quick release fitting that plugs into the bottom of the propane, a water outlet that plugs into the bottom. As soon as this unit senses your propane input and senses water input, you basically just pull the trigger and you've got hot water.
On demand.
On demand. Nice. So you've got, and it's instant hot water. You've got all of your settings here, so you can turn the water pressure up and down. The hose is long enough that it reaches the kitchen sink, so if you want to fill it with hot water for washing dishes, you can. But what's been very, very popular over here in the United States is we have an option there for a diesel heater, a diesel Webasto system. And where that sits is in here. It's not on this particular trailer, but it's a diesel system that sits in here. It's got a diesel filler in the side. What that gives you is instant diesel hot water once you turn the controller on. But more importantly, it gives you plumbed hot water to the sink, and it gives you a heater inside the tent as well.
Oh, nice.
So beside where the pillows are, there's a little switch. You flick the switch, and hot air pumps into the tent. Now, the tent heater it won't turn the tent into a sauna. What it will do is take all the chill out of the air. We have a customer here in the United States that just sent us in some photos and some videos of them in snow. Woke up in the morning, whole tent is covered, the top's covered in ice, they're in the middle of the snow, and they were raving on about the heater. I can't test it in those sort of conditions back in Australia, obviously. But the Webasto system is a really good unit. If you live in one of those areas where it does snow or does get cold, I would definitely recommend it. Even our customers from down south, we're selling now 60% of the units that go down into Victoria have the Webasto system fitted. Like I said, they are an expensive option, but a really valuable option if you need it, you know?
Yeah.
So moving around, we've got in the X1 GT, you get this barbecue swing away. So you can see this swings, and if you can imagine when the awning's all set up and comes out, this is all undercover here. Yeah. So there's an awning all the way undercover that wraps all the way around the front. You can put your Weber grill or whatever type of grill you like. The Weber's not actually included, but our dealer can obviously sell you one of those. When this is packed away, you still have, actually look, I'll show you how it works.
Okay, go for it.
It's pretty cool. Now this is not the right, we couldn't buy the right Weber here in the United States from locally in Vegas, we couldn't find one. So this is the high lid Weber, we had to actually cut down the legs, so it will fit if you cut the legs down, but your standard, I think you call it, this is a 1200 here, the one that actually fits is a 1000. So basically you slide that in there, so that locks into there, there's a little lock underneath, and then you can still, if you put the 1000, you can still fit 2 jerry cans underneath here, you can carry backup water. You've got a big utility shelf up in here. What I usually use this for is all of my cooking items will sit up in here. So spatulas, tongs, you know, the big forks. I'll leave all of my water hoses, everything coiled up in the front. I call this front compartment the man cave. This is my area of the trailer. Sarah doesn't touch it. The kids aren't allowed to touch anything that's inside there because that's where I keep all the gear that I need. Nice. So that's a bit about the front box. You've got all of this is rhino lined. So this is a rhino coating on the front. Stone deflector, you can see it's angled down, angled forward.
Oh yeah.
Number one, it looks good, but the most important reason, the reason we did it, it's a stone deflector. So you get stones coming off the back of your truck, they hit here, instead of bouncing back up and smashing the back window, they angle forward.
Smart.
So that's it's all form and function. You can see that's got gas struts as well, like everything else. We've got a handbrake at the front, standard jockey wheel. This is something brand new to the United States, and mark my words, this is going to take over the US market.
Oh, okay.
This is the vehicle components DO35. This is by far the most popular hitch back in Australia. It's a full articulating hitch, so you can see it'll go 360 degrees, then it'll go 180 degrees this way. Now, like I said before, when I rolled that trailer up in Cape York, the only thing that stopped the car going over was this hitch. If I would have had a conventional hitch on there or a ball hitch, pending that it didn't actually release and break the hitch, the car would have gone over. We would have taken the car over as well. Really, really good safety feature. How it works, you got a spigot that just bolts onto your standard receiver like a normal ball. Spigot drops in underneath. Once the spigot's through, locked. That's it, you're done. You're hooked up. Nice. You're good to go. This thing here, keep an eye out for it, guys. You're going to be seeing a lot of these. These are launching into the US very soon.
That's the first time I've ever seen it. Cool.
They're unbelievable. Handbrake integrated as well. So the handbrake obviously runs back to the drums. What else we got? So we got 2 propane holders. You can fit up to about nice. 10 pounds in the GT. So you get 2 in the Tourer. You get 1. Price point. So the X1 GT, as you see it here, without the cooler, is $40,990. Pick up from Oklahoma. So obviously you've got your state sales tax on top of that and your registration. But the X1 GT is the fully optioned trailer. You already have the input there for your solar. You have Anderson plug connected. You've got the twin tanks. You've got twin 120 amp hour batteries. There's a lithium battery upgrade available as well for those guys that are electronically savvy. So $40,990 from Oklahoma. We have a scaled down version of this, which is called the X1 Tourer. That starts at $36,990. That's more for a couple. So it comes with 1 battery, 1 water tank, steel wheels. Doesn't have the barbecue swing away, doesn't have the rear drawers, which we forgot to go through actually, but there's the big rear drawer set in the back. Then we have the X2. Now the X2 is a trailer that's been developed for the Jeep market. Jeeps and FJs. Comes in unoptioned, it comes in at 680 kilos, so you're talking 1,400 pounds. Fully loaded, once you go and put all your gear on it, you're going to be sitting around 18, 19, 2,000 pounds, something like that. Really good for your Jeeps, your FJs, your smaller vehicles, and that is the real quick setup, pure camper. There is It's still a Patriot. It has the Patriot luxury, but I've designed that one there as a camper trailer, and it doesn't pretend to be anything that it's not. So check out the X2 as well.
I got a quick question.
What else?
So the guys in America, they can drive to Oklahoma and check it out, put their hands on it.
Of course.
And then that's basically
how they
figure out if they want it.
Okay, so in Oklahoma, Matt has set up there an X1 and an X2 in his showroom. So they're on display there. He also has a couple of demo models. So if a customer wants to take one just for a drive around with Matt, they're not available for hire, but if you want to go for a drive around, Matt can accommodate that. Matt will have the toy haulers here in January. So the TH730 and the TH610 will be here in January in Oklahoma. So we're only sticking with the one distributor at the moment. We're not looking for any more distributors. Matt's part of our family now. He spent a lot of time in Australia. Sarah and I and the kids have spent a lot of time in Oklahoma understanding his business and his team. He has a fantastic team behind him. They've all been trained, or 3 of them have been trained at Patriot Campers HQ. Nice. So they know the product. They're holding all of the spare parts in stock. So they have everything that they need should something go wrong. If it's a part that they don't have, we put it in an airbag and we ship it over.
What's the name and the address of the place in Oklahoma? Exploration Outfitters.
Check out their website. They're in Meade in Oklahoma.
All right, so I think we're just about done, right?
My voice is really hurting.
You gave a fantastic interview.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I love about your guys' trailers is there's vehicles out front there that cost tons and tons of money.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like a house on wheels, but they're not as fast as this. I mean, I could put this in the garage.
And that's the whole point of it.
Just hook up and go. That's the beauty of it.
That's the whole point of a trailer. And look, any camper trailer that you buy, this is why camper trailers are so popular in Australia. You leave them in the garage, packed, all the gear in there, ready to go. And I say it all the time. Friday afternoon, I call Sarah, I say, babe, go get the shopping done. I'll meet you at home at 4 o'clock. We literally fill the cooler, put the kids' clothes in the back, hitch it up, you see how easy that is, and we're gone. We're gone for a night or 2 nights, or sometimes we're gone for a week. You know, that's the beauty of a trailer.
There you go. All right, so let's end this with your website, and that'll be it.
So check out patriotcampers.com, or if you're in Australia, patriotcampers.com.au. They'll both link together. Like I said, check out patriotgames.tv. That'll give you a really good understanding on what this is all about. Guys, thank you very much for the walkthrough. We really appreciate it. If you've got any questions, contact Matt at Exploration Outfitters. Flick him an email, give him a call. He'll be more than happy to help.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Awesome trailer. I'm going to follow up with these guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys at Overland Expo as well.
100%.
Right? And you're going to have some new stuff, right?
Sarah and I will be at Overland East, Overland West, and SEMA every year from now on. And we guarantee that. We will be there every year.
Cool, there we go. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks heaps, man. Good to see you again.